What's up, guys? This is Lionel back again with another video, and this is episode 5 of posting every day in a row. I'm gonna go as forever, as long as I can, until I'm not a YouTuber anymore. It's a challenge to see how long I can go posting every day. And today's episode's not gonna be long. We actually have a lot going on this weekend. The hackathon starts tomorrow, so I've been scrambling all day trying to prepare and trying to decide on what type of video would be good to post today. It seems like you guys enjoy the story time a little bit more than the tutorials. So far, at least. We'll see what happens as they simmer a little bit longer. So in that case, I'll just talk a bit about my journey and about what's going on right now in my self-taught junior developer world. So I'm super excited about this week's hackathon. Although I do have a dilemma that I'm facing, which I would like some input on. If you guys could hop into the comments and help me out with this on what you think I should do. So either I can start my own team and make a ticketing app for another company that I'm involved with, whose biggest expense is Eventbrite and Ticketmaster. We could make our own situation and handle it with Stripe API or something like that, or maybe even crypto, maybe try to make it a blockchain thing. I could either do that, or should I go there and try to join another group's team as a free agent instead of trying to assemble my own team? Just go join a team, because there's tons of great ideas out there, and there's people there who work for companies like Paramount, Netflix. There's people there who work, amazing developers work for AWS and all sorts of things. I was originally that was my plan, but then I thought, like, well, wait a minute, there's this other thing that I'm supposed to be working on as soon as I can. Why don't I just get the MVP created there? So please let me know what you think I should do. I'm gonna check it. It doesn't start until 2 o'clock tomorrow. This is 9 o'clock tonight. I'm gonna post this as soon as I finish it, so that would be awesome. One thing I can do is talk about tips on how to get hired. That seems to be the most trendy topic right now, for good reason, and again, I'm just gonna say, network, get out there. For one, though, first, don't stop doing courses, but if you don't have a portfolio website and you're still doing courses, stop doing courses and make that first and then start again, because you most likely know enough HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to Google your way through your portfolio website. I was talking to somebody because we also have a meetup where we teach JavaScript every single week. The Digital Builder 757, you could join it on meetup.com. And the person in there is going to school for their computer science degree, and they don't have a portfolio. And I asked him, and I said, JavaScript. She knew all sorts of stuff, but didn't have a portfolio, and she didn't know why she didn't. And I'm like, well, make one. That's a perfect chance for you to get some more real experience, because one of the things that I don't like about learning how to code, I'm not sure what it's like on the school side, university side, but as far as the self-taught path with YouTube and Free Code Camp and Team Treehouse and all of these Udemy's and different stuff like that, is they will break everything up and teach you a small thing. But if this was a huge, like, Lego set, Lego tower with the whole city, they give you this tiny little block, and you have no idea how this block even fits into the whole situation. Perfect example is, I asked her, if she's just trying to get to know her and get to gauge what her knowledge was as far as coding goes. I said, do you know what a Boolean is? She said, yes. I was like, what is it? And she said, true or false. I was like, yep, that's what it is. Now, what is a use case for a Boolean? And she was stuck. She was like, I don't know. She's like, well, maybe if someone's going to log in with their password, it'll say true or false. And I was like, maybe you could code it like that, but nah, that's not the usual one. So I really honestly believe that when people are teaching how to code, or that's going to be one thing that I do when I eventually start to put out courses and stuff like that, which will be free, by the way. But when I go to put out my course, I've been looking into platforms like school.com, and I'm going to teach the fundamental and then show exactly how it connects to a website and how you will actually use it. For example of Boolean would be, is this user logged on, true or false, or is active, true or false. You would have user as the object, which is another thing that they could teach. They teach objects, they teach properties, they teach, of course, methods and functions and loops and integers and strings and everything. But what they should do is say an object. For example, you're an object. If you're a user on a website, you're an object. Now, the user is just the name, which is a string, but could be called anything. That's how you name an object, like, coffee is an object, or my cup is an object, And then the property could be like, I don't know, coffee inside the cup, and then its function could be energy when you drink it. But so I was saying a user, even though that string could be whatever you name it, right? We're gonna call it user, and then we're gonna put two curly braces, and now it's an object because you got your curly braces, and now whatever you put inside there, now you're building the object. You got first name, last name, which is strings that you're just naming them, you're creating them, like you're God at that moment, and you're like, okay, first name, last name, string is active. Now you throw a Boolean in there. You could throw a timestamp in there for created at, like when was this user object created? When was it deleted? Or deleted would be null if it hasn't been deleted yet. And what else could you put in there? Billing history could go in there. Whatever you want could go in there. But you see how now we're not only just teaching the things so far removed from coding that by the time you go to build your website, you're like, wait, what is this again? And yeah, so don't wait till the end of the course, man. You got to start connecting these dots now. And I'm talking to the people who don't have work portfolios and aren't freelancing yet, but are going through courses. That is the target that I'm aiming for. I'm not talking to developers who have been in the game for 10 years, even though I know I do have some subscribers that are like that for whatever reason. You know, I'm talking to the guys who were like me, who are behind me. I feel like in this path, and I'm trying to reach back the pass the baton back or extend the hand back to pull you up to where now you're gonna get a job and now you're gonna be working. Freelance. Freelancing is the way. Freelancing is the path that opens up the opportunities and allows the connections and everything like that to happen. Once you understand, I wouldn't even say, because even if you do finish a course, right? Are you really going to remember all of that different stuff? No. When I was taking courses, because I kind of realized that it's a freaking huge rabbit hole, right? So it's just the dopamine of like completing the course at that point that you're working towards. You can speed through that as fast as you can, and you really should. My strategy was to at least know the language. So if someone was to say function, I would be like, okay, yeah, I know what that is. Please continue. Or loop, at least you're not gonna be able to say something that I have never heard of, because I started at lesson 0 and made it all the way to the end. Now, if you ask me to open up Visual Studio Code and write my own function, which does something, without Googling for help, like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I don't know if that makes you not a real one yet. Like, one day I will be able to do that, sure. But Do I need to do that to make websites for people? No. Do I need to do that to even handle a task that's... No, you don't. You really don't. I haven't ran into it in my 2 months of working so far. I haven't ran into a situation where I need to write some type of code from scratch without any kind of like Googling or anything like that. And it's fine. Like, I'm sure, we're all learning and we're all getting better every day. But the most important thing is to get stuff done, to solve problems, to not get stuck solving problems. And the only way to get there is to just hurry up and get there. You're not doing anybody any favors by taking your time and not doing it and not getting there. You have to throw yourself into the fire and learn from there and be determined, be motivated to not give up. You're gonna hit an error code. That's one thing that I noticed as soon as I started coding for real, is that error codes, error message. Then you become a detective, and that's where it gets fun because you get to read. You're reading all this like jibber jabber, right? You're reading through it, trying to figure out, because it's breadcrumbs leading you to what is causing the problem. And then with that, you're now an engineer. You're going in there and you're fixing something that was broken and something that was not working before. And you can like remix it from there. You can figure out, okay, well, it was this, let me turn it into that. You can do different things there, but you are not writing CSS from scratch like they used to. I see some of these tutorials and shit where you're actually like, okay, here's my header. Like, there's way too many frameworks, there's way too many templates, there's way too many stuff like that out there that you're gonna use. That's what companies want to use. That's what, if you're creating an MVP for a startup, you're creating anything, like, that's what you're gonna use. Even making stuff responsive, you're googling your way through all of this stuff. I hope that this isn't gonna make anybody mad. I'm just trying to save people from wasting their time. That's all I'm trying to do. And get straight to it. Get busy. Get out here and get these clients. Don't be a person who's stuck in school and thinking that you're not good enough. Like, as soon as HTML means hypertext markup language, right? CSS, cascading style sheets, that's what it does. And it's curly braces, bold for this hex color, whatever the hell, and you know how to do the classes and all of that stuff. And then JavaScript now is your functionality, right? It makes things more functional and can like connect the front end with the back end, especially with Node.js and shit like that, right? So now you can get in there and you know what an object is. Of course, you gotta know React most of the time, so you gotta know what a component is, you gotta know what a hook is, you have to know what state management is, you have to know what front end means, what back end means. You gotta, depending on whatever tech stack you're using, you just have to learn that thing. But some of these courses take so long with the and if you're not trying to get hired by Google in Silicon Valley, I really don't think that you need to be able to pass a technical interview yet. If you're just starting off, especially if you're self-taught, how the hell are you even gonna like get that opportunity anyway? The people who I'm talking to are in my very specific lane, we're going straight to startups where people are actually going to give us a chance. You know what I mean? Looking for a discounted junior developer, someone who's not going to charge them like $200 an hour to build their MVP. You can make a good living off of helping startups and getting in there at that sweet spot. And that's where we're going to get experience from. And that's where we're going to build up from there, right? Every single community, no matter where you at, most likely you have a startup community. You go get your haircut someplace who is pissed off at their web design and their marketing team, and you can talk to them and say, I'm a developer now. You know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, React, stuff like that, so you can talk to them, you can get that client. You know people who have car washing companies who don't have a website yet. You're out and about. You start seeing stuff, and you need to really like put on your developer hat and turn this down a little bit. That shit just got loud. Put on your put on your marketing hat, your sales for yourself, and by then you need to have your own personal website, which is going to be your business card, right? And you use that to just get more and more experience, and through that more opportunities open up, and you can build your own thing also. You know, if you have anything that you're into as a hobby, you can build that and just continue to learn. You're free to do your courses there in your free time, but I really feel like courses should be for free time, and you should set time aside for your professional side of being a web developer and working on your personal brand. We all should have a LinkedIn where, you know, we're shouting ourselves out as a developer. We shouldn't be hidden. You know, if you're trying to break into tech, I know I keep harping on that I'm talking to a specific type of person similar to myself, and speaking to myself a year ago where I was trapped in tutorial hell, but I was still doing the right things as far as trying to make shit happen at the same time. But I definitely got to see how easy it is to forget all of that stuff and just be stuck on the courses. You know, so real quick, short video, story time slash motivation and how to. I'm about to think of what the title should be because I talked about 3 different things. But hope y'all have a good weekend. I'm gonna still post the video even though I'm gonna be busy as hell with the hackathon. Shoot, I might even stream or shoot it from over there at Assembly so that you guys can see and give you an update on the hackathon. There we go. Because sometimes making a video every day, it's gonna get a little repetitive if I don't start coming up with stuff like that. So that's awesome. But have a good weekend. Have a good night. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.